Mas Jonga, I want you to guide me through this. Go to solve for x. X into x minus 4 equals minus 4. Go to 2x squared minus 3x minus 4, and that is equals to 0. Number 3, 3x into 2/3 minus 7x into 1/3 plus 2 equals to 0. Number 4, 1 over x plus 1 plus 2x into x minus 1 is equals to 1. But he must solve it for x up. James Antonymus to the first one.
It's x squared minus 4x.
Okay, using the distributive law and it. So ndizoti x squared minus 4x and it equals negative 4. That is fine. X squared minus 4x plus 4 equals to 0. And then I will try to factorize this in the balance 2 and 2. The bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. There's no bigger number, but negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Minus 2 minus 2 is minus 4. Therefore, this can be written in exponential form as x minus 2 squared, because when you have numbers of the same basis, you will add the exponents. And this is equals to 0. To get rid of that 2, we will square both sides. And it x minus 2 equals 0, therefore x equals 2. This is very good, my dear. And the second one, 2x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals to 0. So in here, we must use a quadratic. So x equals minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So I will have negative into negative 3. Negative 3 squared minus 4 into a into c divided by 2 into a. 3 plus or minus 9 plus, this is 32 over 4. And you will get
Negative 0.
3 plus or minus 9 plus 32, it's 41. I will start first with a positive 1. 3 plus root 41 over 4, you will get
Final answer.
Yes,
Negative 0,85.
it can be negative, this one. For positive, you can't have
2,35.
2,35, or x2 will be 3 minus root 41 over 4,
Negative 0,85.
85. So this is what you will have, and this is what you will have. So these are just basic simple problems that many of us will be able to solve. The video is not as clear as I would wish, and I don't know why. I honestly do not know why. If I try to bring up the brightness, seems like I need to use this side more than I use the other side, but that is fine. That is fine. Let me just try to switch that off. I will just migrate to the side. Right. That is fine. Let's go to the third one. 3x 2/3 minus 7x 1/3 plus 2 equals to 0. Any idea as to what we can do there?
I was working on it. Got right.
Yala.
I don't think I. Yeah.
Yala. I want you to look at something here. This 2/3 is the same as 1/3 plus 1/3. The LCD it's 3, 1 plus 1 it's 2/3. So instead of writing this, I'm going to write this. But the question is how? Because when I multiply numbers of the same basis, I add the exponents and it, and then minus 7x 1/3 plus 2 equals to 0. I'm going to use what we call the K method. I'm going to say let x 1/3 be equals to K. So where I see this, I'm writing K. 3 times K minus 7 times K plus 2 is equals to 0. Are we fine? So you'll have 3k squared minus 7k plus 2 equals to 0. Okay? Now in order to factorize this, remember, we will do this. 3k and k. Now remember, you will take this 3, multiply it with this 2 and get 6. So we will rewrite this as k squared minus 7k plus 6 equals 0. And then from here, you will say k factors of 6 is 3 and 2. Are we fine? But this is problematic. 3 and 2 cannot give me 7. So I rather use 6 and 1. The bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. When I multiply them, I should get a negative. So this must also be negative, because when I say negative 6 times negative 1, that's positive 6. Minus 6 minus 1 is minus 7. But remember, that 3 which I multiplied there, I must divide both by that 3. So in here, you will say, how many 3's can I pull out of 6? 2. Now, because the 3 cannot go into 1, you say 3 times k, which is 3k, and then you have your minus 1, and this is equals to 0. And then you will say k equals 2 or 3k equals 1. But remember, what is k? K is x to exponent 1/3. That is equals to 2. 3 times x to exponent 1/3 equals 1. And then in here, you have an exponent of 1 there. You want to solve for x. You will multiply the exponents by the reciprocal of 1/3, which is x 1/3. The reciprocal of 1/3 is 3 over 1. That is equals to 2, 1. You also multiplied by 3 over 1. In here, you will divide by 3 because you want to get rid of that 3. You will have x 1/3 equals 1 over 3. So this is a numerator, denominator, they will cancel. Your x is 2 to exponent 3, which is 8. On this side, you will start first by writing this with a base of 3. This is the same as 3 to exponent negative 1. And then you will multiply by the reciprocal of this, which is 3, multiplied by 3. This into this goes once. Your x is 3. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3, which is 1 over 3 to exponent 3, which is 1 over 27. I don't know whether you understand this.
How go x minus 8? If x is equals to 8,
A.
we form 8.
Deter 2 to exponent of 3. And it 1 times 3, it's 3. And it? So this is the same as 1 times 3, which is 3. And 2 to exponent 3, the answer is 8. Are we fine with this? Okay. And then we have the last one, number 4. In fact, mandibhalele up 1 over x plus 1 plus 2x over x minus 1 equals 1. And we want to solve for x. Here I have no choice but to take out an LCD. And the LCD will be x plus 1 and x minus 1. That's what I have on my denominator. This into this goes once. This times 1 is exactly that. I have the addition sign. This into this goes once. This times this is 2x into x plus 1. And this is equals to 1. In fact, here, this is not the right way of doing this. But, that's also shoot the up organ. Right, let's not do it in this way. When you have an equation, it's true that we have an LCD. We can see that our LCD is x plus 1 into x minus 1. You multiply, because it's an equation, you multiply everything by the LCD. You have 1 divided by x plus 1, you multiply this by the LCD. Plus 2x into x minus 1, you multiply also this by the LCD. That is equals, we have your 1, you multiply that by the LCD. You are multiplying everything by the LCD. This into this goes once. You have 1 multiplied by x minus 1, which is x minus 1. Plus, this into this goes once. You have 2x that is multiplied by x plus 1. 1 multiplied by this is exactly that. From here, you have your x minus 1. You multiply, you get 2x squared. You multiply, you get your 2x. You multiply, you have your x squared minus x plus x minus 1. X plus 2x is 3x minus 1 plus 2x squared. You have your x squared, positive and negative, they cancel. You have your negative 1. You can group the like terms here. You can take everything to that side. X squared, 2x squared minus x squared is x squared. You have your positive 3x. Negative 1, positive 1, they will cancel. 0. You will take out a common factor. Your x is equals to 0, or x plus 3 equals to 0, x equals minus 3. I don't know if this is making sense. I don't know if this is making sense. You are dealing with a very complicated man here. I don't know whether this is making a lot of sense. But it has to. It has to make a lot of sense. It has to make a lot of sense. See, right?
Yes.
Right. Masiyaku question 2. Bathi solve the inequality. Bathi we should solve the inequality. Uzangiqalela ngenze ntoni? Bathi x squared plus 13x plus 36 should be less than 0. And 3 marks are provided for that. 3 mark is provided for that. Sizwenza ntoni? we calculate what we call the critical values first. So if you want to find the critical values, you let this be equals to 0. Then you factorize. What are the factors of 36 that can give you 13? You can say 36 equals shift fact. You will get the factors. 36 equals shift fact. Ubunga. Iknika meaning 4 times 9. 4 and 9. And I know that 4 plus 9 is 13. And the bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. They are positive, therefore they must also be positive. So what I can do from there, I can say that x equals minus 4 or x equals minus 9. And then I am fine from that. But remember, this is an inequality unit. These were just the critical values. Now we go on a table. Because it says less, you just do this. Minus 4 minus 9. In fact, you say this. Minus 4 and minus 9. If it is less, you place your x in between. You write the bigger number and the smaller number, because negative 4 is bigger than negative 9. You will start first with, a smaller number and end up with a bigger number. You just say, you place your x, you have your smaller number and your bigger number, then you just do this if it is less. Values x must be greater than minus 9. Let me show you this. Values of x that are greater than minus 9 are the values that are going that side. The values of x that are less than minus 4 are the values that goes that side. So where is your solution? Your solution is in between. Hence we are saying x should be greater than minus 9 and x should be less than minus 4. So this is how you would solve your inequality. And that's nobody bonaka. Right. Agnanda then is simultaneous, but in 2.2. Solve the following simultaneous equations. 3y plus x equals 2. Y squared plus x equals xy plus x. And we need to solve that simultaneous. Now, how do we solve this simultaneous? Alright, I will make the first one equation 1 because I have the coefficient of x where the value is 1. And I will make this my equation 2. Then I will say from equation 1. It's in equation 1. 3y plus x equals 2. I'm going to make x the subject of the formula here. I will have x equals 2 minus 3y. And then I will say this is my equation 3. And then I will substitute 3 in 2. It's in 2. Y squared plus x equals xy plus x. From this equation, where I see x, I'll be writing 2 minus 3y. Dibona ux, I'm writing 2 minus 3y. Dibona ux, I am writing y into 2 minus 3y. Because there's multiplication, I can swap as I wish. Omnya angaibeka ngapha. iPhone nandibeka apha ngoba I love multiplying like this. And then I'm having another x. I'm writing 2 minus 3y. And then from there I have my y squared plus 2 minus 3y. I have 2y minus 3y squared. See, right? Plus 2 minus 3y. Okay, I can take everything to that side. y squared plus 2 minus 3y minus 2y plus 3y squared minus 2 plus 3y equals 0. I have y squared plus 3y squared, that is 4y squared. Positive 3y, negative 3y, they cancel. I'm left with negative 2y. Positive 2, negative 2, they cancel. Is there any number that is left? No. This is equals to 0. There's a common factor here. But before I take out a common factor, I want to factorize 2y. And I will have 2y minus 1. See, right? And this is equals to 0. So 2y equals 0, or 2y minus 1 equals to 0. Y equals 0, or 2y equals 1. Y equals 1/2. I don't know if we are still fine.
Negative 1 over 1.
Up. Remember I took out 2y and it as a common factor. And then the shake and go 2y up and go back. 2 times 2 is 4, y times y is y squared. Now because already I have a minus sign, there it is. I already took out 2y on this side. When there's nothing left, we say there's a 1. Are we fine? Alright. So this will be my equation 4. And I'm going to substitute 4 in 3. 3 18. X equals 2 minus 3y. I will start first with this one. So I will say x1 equals 2 minus 3 into 0, which is 2. And then the second one is this one. I will say x2 equals 2 minus 3 into 1/2. And this is 2 minus 3.5. I don't know what is 2 minus 3.5. Maybe you might get a value there that is making a lot of sense.
1 over 2.
1 over 2. These are the things that needs you to sit down and practice, and it only through practice one can be able to understand. And that's the ifs, right? Right. Masijonge, this one. Given that p squared is equals to q squared minus r squared minus qr, the cosine of angle p. Then cos p is equals to what? So meaning we are making cos p the subject of the formula. Now, how do we make cos p the subject of the formula? Right, we will take this and this to the other side. We have p squared. We are taking this, it becomes negative. We are taking that, it becomes positive. And we will be left with negative 2 QR cosine of angle P. And then from there we will divide both left and right by negative 2 QR. So this goes once. Therefore cos of angle P is P squared minus Q squared plus R squared all over negative 2 QR. This is how I would make cos P the subject of the formula. Very, very important, my sister. Now masiye kui nature of the roots game. And go masiye kui nature of the roots. Let us just have a quick summary of the nature of the roots. Remember that the roots are real if the discriminant is greater or equals to 0. The roots are real. And remember that the roots are real, rational, and unequal if you get the discriminant is a perfect square. And the roots are non-real if the discriminant is less than 0. Just in summary, you know? But here is a question. Given the equation x squared plus x plus t equals to 0, show that the square root of 1 minus 3t minus 1 over 2 and negative the square root of 1 minus 4t minus 1 all over 2 are the roots Okay, they say given the equation this, they say show that this and this are the roots. We are given the equation and we need to show that this and this are the roots of that equation. And it, okay, how did they get to that value? Okay, we have x squared plus x plus t equals to 0. This is fine. So I know the equation. If I want the nature of the roots, it says that b squared minus 4ac is equals to 0. Because they are not being specific whether the roots are real, rational, irrational, or non-real. So that is fine. So we must show that this are the roots of this. Now, I have the value of b, which is 1. I have the value of a, which is 1, and the value of c, which is t. And this will give me 1 minus 4t. And it? Okay. But in this way, it will not work. It doesn't work in this way. What I can do is the following. I have x squared plus x plus t equals to 0. So I can say x equals minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Minus into my b, it's 1. I have 1 squared minus 4 into a, it's 1. C, it's t. All divided by 2 into a is 1. I will have minus 1 plus or minus 1 minus 4t over 2. I can start first with a positive 1, and it I can have minus 1 plus 1 minus 4t all over 2 as the first value of x, and the second value of x will be minus 1 minus 1 minus 4t over 2. I can rewrite this the way they have written it here. They took this number to the other side. This can be rewritten starting first with the square root. It's positive. This is negative. Can you see that? I can rewrite this as minus. This is negative. This is negative. Is this not the same as that? Is this not the same as that? kwenzakala 3. There must be a problem. Ndim a problem. Never. It's 4. So ndim impulse. So therefore, they are the roots of x squared plus x plus t equals 0. Andazi noba iyabonakala. Andazi noba iyabonakala. Andazi noba iyabonakala. Andazi noba iyabonakala. We are fine. So it was a little bit tricky. They say that show that this and this are the roots of this. So you just apply your formula and then you substitute the value of A, B, and C, and then it will work out exactly the way they want it to work out. Ndazi siphinde masiphinde masiphinde. They say to us, given the equation x squared plus x plus t equals to 0, they say to us that we should show that the square root of 1 minus 4t minus 1 over 2 and minus 1 minus 4t minus 1 over 2 are the roots. And this is just 2 marks that is provided for this problem. We need to show that those are the roots. Now, how do we show that they are the roots? The first thing that we will do, we will introduce the formula x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So you remember you have your a, your b, and your c. So you will have negative into your b, it's 1. You will have your 1 squared minus 4 into a, it's 1. Your c, it's t, divided by 2 into a, which is 1. Negative times positive, it's a negative 1. You'll have 1 minus 4t over 2. And it, taking x as being positive, the first x, I can rewrite this as minus 1 plus the square root of 1 minus 4t over 2. And this, if I want to write it like that, I must take this to this side. So I will have this minus 1 over 2 for the first one. And for the second x, I will say minus 1 minus the square root of 1 minus 4t over 2. In writing it like this, I can start with this first, 1 minus 4t, take this to the other side, minus 1 all over 2. Then you will conclude they are the roots of that. We can just conclude and say, therefore, x squared plus x, I can just say therefore, they are the roots of x squared plus x plus t equals to 0. I'm just concluding that. And that's the equation lakho lithini?
12 minutes past 2 past 6. 12 minutes past 6.
Equation lakho libe t. Your time is up. Hamba uye kwi question paper yakho le ethetha nge nature of